Hi Sequels friends, I am so thrilled to share this video with you that has been in the works for over 6 months, and if you are a Sequel subscriber, you've probably remembered me hinting at it a few times. I'm going to tell you how I made $1,000 selling shit from around the house that I don't wear, don't use, or didn't even really know that it existed and was just piled up in my basement. So whether you are a veteran reseller or new to reselling, a part-timer like me, or you've never resold anything at all, you will definitely want to watch this video. I am going to show you everything that I sold, even the things that brought in a lower dollar value, just to give you an idea of sometimes things that you think aren't worth anything do still have some value in it. So if you want to know how you can make $1,000 in just 6 months, and I like to say it's the set it and forget it method, take a picture, put it online, and just wait for the money to roll in, this is the video for you, so keep on watching. Hi Sequels friends, welcome back to my channel. It is so wonderful to have you here, and if you're new, my name is Heather and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy, and I use this YouTube channel to talk about reselling, talk about my journey, show some thrift hauls, and even do some unboxings. So if that interests you, go ahead, hover over that Sequels icon in beautiful Sequels pink and hit that subscribe button. So I have been working on this video for at least 6 months, and you super Sequels subscribers may have noticed me mentioning it a few times. It has been a work in progress, and I've had a hard time starting and stopping this video over and over again, as I'm not really sure how to share all this information with you. Let's start, I guess, with the basics. I went through my house over the last 6 months, and anything that I have not been using, I have been putting up for sale. So I didn't do it all in January. I may have gone through my closet in January, maybe went through my jewelry box in February, another month I may have hit my linen closets, another month a kitchen, so on and so forth. So throughout this 6 months, I have just, as I found items, I've listed them and put them up for sale. Now, there are a few points that I want to go over before I get into the numbers, and that is, you do not need to be a reseller to make some extra money. You do not need to be proficient in eBay or any other selling platforms. Although I did list things on eBay, you do not need to be proficient in all of those platforms to sell. But Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist are great places to start. Always remember, no matter what the value of your item, as the old adage says, one man's trash is another person's treasure, and that is true. Sometimes things that you don't perceive that have any value, other people do, and it's still worth it to consider putting it up for sale. So I always say, when in doubt, comp it out. If you're not sure if it has value, just look it up online and see if it has sold anywhere. And if it has, then it has value. Sometimes there is something in your closet or a momentum that you aren't using it, you aren't wearing it, but it does still have emotional value. If that's the case for me, then I do one of 3 things, and I've just written these down here so that I can remember them. 1, as I just said, check comps. Sometimes when you check comps, you find that your emotional attachment varies a bit if the value is in an item. The other thing to do would be take a picture of it. I have sold so many things, and some of them I've actually kept the pictures of just because I like that warm fuzzy feeling I get when I remember that I had the item. And the other thing I do, if I'm not sure if I want to sell something, but it already passed it has value, or appears to have value, number 1 option that I gave you, and I've already done the number 2 option where I take a picture of it, but I'm still not sure, then I say I am only going to let it go if it goes for X amount of dollars. So if I can get $50 for it, then I'll feel fine about letting it go. But if everybody only wants to pay $20, then I'm just going to keep it because it doesn't seem like it's worth the same value to them as it is to me. So those are just a few things to think about. Now that we went over that, let's get into my favorite, the numbers. So as I said in the intro, I made $1,000 selling these items, and I actually ended up collecting over the last 6 months 43 items from a person who considers herself Miss Neat Freak and a quick purger. I found 43 items to list, and I've sold 32 of them in 6 months. Now, having said that, I just recently cleaned out my garage and found several more. So I will actually be adding in to the 11 that I have remaining even more over the upcoming month. I made exactly $1,951. That is about a 90% ROI, and that ROI is much higher than my normal ROI that comes in a little over 65 to 70%, and that is because there is no cost of goods here. So my net dollars that I put in my pocket were $902.49. What I normally do is show you the best of the best items and talk to you about those a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do as well this time. But before we do that, I'd like to show you a brief collage of all the items that I put up for sale. I just think it will be very helpful for you to realize that the varying dollar amounts can add up quickly, and also maybe it will pique your curiosity, get your creative mind flowing as to what things have a sort of perceived value that maybe you would have overlooked and not considered selling to begin with. So let's flip around and go into those, just show you all of the items that sold, and I may do a little voiceover with some details on a few of them, and then let's get into the items that netted the most money. First up are accessories. Don't forget to check that coat closet because this set ended up netting me $16. And don't sleep on those Ipsy bags. If you're not using them, you can sell them. This set of 6 nabbed me $10. And then also this delicate scarf was also something that somebody wanted. 2 pairs of shoes that sold. This one didn't make me much money, but this next pair of Born shoes made me almost 20 bucks. And then up for clothes, a lot of these clothes aren't very expensive. This is from Burke's Outlet that I got on clearance for $5 and made more than that. Here's another $5 dress. That's Old Navy and it sold for $12. A skirt, some tops. Again, this was gifted to me. The next one was gifted to me. If I'm not wearing it, just sell it and you'll actually make more online than you would at a yard sale. Can you believe it? This is Shein Shine and I sold it for more than the $5 I spent on it. A few sweaters and this, and a few more sweaters, and this covers clothing. And then next up, do not forget about pet supplies. This Freedom harness netted me almost 20 bucks. Then into home goods, I had a few pillow covers I wasn't using. I also had some tab top curtains that I got when I was out thrifting and didn't spend more than $8 on the whole set. Some extra cords. Yes, you can sell cords. People are looking for them. A remote control I don't use. Yes, you could sell that. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I ended up selling some records that a friend had given to me because I ended up selling my record player a while back. So it is really amazing some of the things you can move. Typically the items that I show you now are the items that netted me over 20 bucks. So that's what we're going to do here today. And I believe it's only 7 items. So that gives you an idea of a lot of those items netted less than that money, less than 20 bucks, but all of those dollar amounts add up pretty quickly to get to that $1,000. We're going to start with the lowest of the best and work up to the highest of the best. First up is this, I believe, 80s crystal water pitcher. Now, this was given to me. It is not something that we would typically use. I listed it for $49, took an offer of $41.99. That does include the shipping, and ended up netting $36. Next up, my partner is notorious for cracking his iPhone screen and he actually had an old iPhone with a cracked screen that has just been sitting in a drawer somewhere. We never ended up selling it like we normally do or trading it in or any of that stuff. So I thought, okay, well, will this sell? It is an iPhone 6, so that tells you how old it is. But when, again, I did my my typical thing, which is, does it have any value? I don't know. Let's check comps. When in doubt, comp it out. And I did check comps and it looked like there was some value there. I listed it for $69, it sold for $69, but I only ended up making $44 of it because I was nervous about shipping it out myself using USPS. So I did take it to UPS to have it shipped out. It arrived no problem at all, and in retrospect I would have just shipped it out with UPS because I watched them package it and I could have totally packaged it in the same manner. Now, if you guys don't know, for my day job I assist with my partner in running a glass blowing business. We sell all sorts of glass art online. And I have weird things, which you'll see several of them, come up in this highest value amount area. And one of them is this. It is the cutest little yellow tank. I can't tell you all about what it is. I don't know if it's an oxygen tank, I don't know all the nitty gritty about it, but it is some sort of tank that we bought that he attempted to use and that no longer worked for his purposes. So I listed it for $100 and ended up selling it for $80. Along that same vein, here's another weird big ass tank. I believe this is an acetylene tank that would normally be used for welders. We do not use this for our glass business, but a family member had some things that they were cleaning out of a shed and they offered to give it to us to sell, and so we took it because so many people when you resell are like, I have some junk, do you want it, can you sell it? And like, okay, we'll see. I listed it for $200 based on comps. It sat. Somebody offered me $100 and I said heck yeah. If you watch my what sold videos, then you've probably seen all of these items already, and this was one that I was super shocked about. This is a Trifari, and I believe based on research that it is vintage 1940s Trifari little crown brooch or pin. Somebody has given this to me over the years, and this is just not my aesthetic. I love the vintage aspect of it, but I never ever wore it, and it just sat in my jewelry box. So I ended up putting it up for sale, and I was shocked when I did comps on the value of things. This is a great example of, if it has sentimental value, take a picture so that you can get those warm fuzzies, but go ahead and sell it. Because I ended up listing this one for $199 based on comps. I ended up taking an offer for $159, and after platform fees, because this one did sell on Poshmark, I ended up making $120. Next up is this freezer. This is another one of those circumstances where a family friend is like, hey, could you guys use a freezer? And we're like, hey, we love to cook, sure, why not? Bring it over to our house. We keep it for over a year plus and we never use it. There's only two of us, and while we cook and we can and we garden, we just don't seem to need an extra freezer. Since we haven't used it and I had a bunch of listings going, we went ahead and listed it. I listed it for $140. Somebody offered me $120 for it, and I said heck yeah, and I took that sale. Next up is another item that came from our glass blowing studio, and it is an oxygen tank. As that welding tank sold, then we figured we weren't using this and we might as well sell it as well. Listed that baby for $150, and somebody came and picked it up for $150. And sure, you may not have a glass blowing business on the side, but I'm sure you have some hobby, something, some collection that you have in your home that you may not be using, that you may not be 100% in love with anymore. When in doubt, comp it out. If it can make you some money, you really should consider selling it. You will be very, very surprised by the just feeling that you get in moving these items and letting some things go. And I think you'll also be surprised that that's the way a lot of people start their reselling journey. If you are a thrifter, as I am, and then you get into reselling things, then it's only a matter of time before you start thrifting to resell. So if you've been thinking about it, this is the greatest first way to dip your toes in the water to see if you're gonna like it, if you like listing online, if you liked photographing and that stuff without having to do it in such depth. And if you don't think that you like it and you're not looking for a part-time, full-time side hustle, Who cares about all that? Just list it and make some extra money to put in your pocket so you could go back out and go shopping again. I would love to hear from you. What have you sold that you didn't think would sell? What did you sell that made a bunch of money? And let it all be stuff that was around your house. I think it will be great for people who are popping in here, watching this video and reading the comments to see that it's not about what I say and what I think. It's about what everybody's saying and everybody's thinking, and give them the motivation to clear it out of their home. So if you found this video useful, as always, I would love for you to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and ring my bell so that you're notified every Tuesday and Friday when I upload new videos. It only takes a second, it doesn't cost a thing, and you would not believe how much it helps my reselling channel, and I so appreciate you for it. I hope you found this video useful, informative, and motivating in some sort of way. And I thank you so much for tuning in. So have a fabulous weekend, guys, and I'll see you on Tuesday with a new video. Bye-bye.